join me, friends, as I explore the Body VR, which is an educational experience, or rather a selection of educational experiences on the HTC Vive, which is room scale virtual reality where you're able to move around a room. You know where the edges are because they're translucent when you're looking through the visor, and you've got these handheld controls that you can use. So this is the main entry screen. I've got a selection of scenarios there, but there's no description about them, so I don't know what exactly they are. Room for improvement there. There's a beta of an anatomy viewer. I think the full version of that's coming out in a month, and there's some nice settings where you can change the quality level and also choose of one of 5 languages. So let's go straight for start.
The journey begins here, inside a blood vessel, carrying blood from the heart.
And so I've got a nice homely
Let's take a closer look.
narrator with British accent, and a little pod is about to land. So this is quite reminiscent of the that film where people shrink and go inside someone's body.
Inside an arterial,
So I'm
strand in a network of blood vessels
in an
spread
arterial,
throughout the body.
and you can see the red blood cells and white blood cells
Blood's most prominent
shooting
cell,
past me.
the red blood cell. Red blood cells, or erythrocytes,
So
take up almost
here we've got
half the blood's total volume.
a red blood cell which I can play around with whilst the person's describing
Function is to transfer
this to me. I think this is aimed towards primary school children, just to kind of inspire them and excite them about the body. Here I've got
Next up are white blood cells, or
triggers there which can
which take up less
select.
than 1% of the blood's total volume.
So the triggers
Their main function
just produce big red blood cells. I'm not sure what the point of this is,
infection.
but you can make red blood cells of different sizes, which I guess is quite fun. And you can smack them into the artery.
Lastly, let's examine platelets, or thrombocytes, whose main function is to stop bleeding at the site of a damaged blood vessel.
You make 2 at the same time. So I don't see what the point of this is. I imagine many kids will just
Right, you can see
spend
the
more
cell
time
blood vessel.
playing with this than actually listen to what the guy has to say. So let's see what he does have to say. If he's just describing these things, thrombocytes, and there seems to be a bit of a
A type of leukocyte, the monocytes,
gap in the wall of the vessel there.
to become macrophages and search for foreign invaders, which they eat and digest.
So
Let's leave the bloodstream through the tear to find a macrophage.
it wants me to leave the bloodstream
We
and
must now undergo further miniaturization.
find a macrophage, and I've been miniaturized. Oh, so now I can shoot all kinds of random things out of my controllers.
We are currently on the outside of the macrophage, within
And
an infected tissue, looking at its surface.
it's a very kind of otherworldly
Cell membrane
alien
structure.
landscape they've created for the
There are thousands
macrophage.
of
They've made it like a
receptor
planet,
proteins on the surface of the cell. Some of
and the
these
cell membrane,
proteins
model cell
are
membrane, which you can
tasked with
play with and
transferring
push away. And so I'm not sure how much people will be
cargo.
learning here or playing with the
Water and oxygen are
objects in virtual
through the
reality,
cell
which you can just
membrane.
bat in a fun way. So he's trying to teach
Larger
me
molecules,
various
like
things.
glucose, enter through small
And
pumps or channels.
For some reason there's a glucose molecule which I can't
Large
shoot.
objects,
Or can I?
viruses,
Yeah, I can shoot it.
require recognition or keys to gain access, thus preventing unauthorized entrance.
Okay.
Fortunately, I have a counterfeit key that's identical to a real one.
The guy's accent
You'll
is,
now
I mean, he
enter
seems quite
my cell.
homely, but I'm not sure it's It's not the accent I would have looked for this kind of experience. I know I'm sounding very prudish and sort of snobbish there, but the guy, he sounds a little bit like Michael Caine, and I think for this you want some kind of booming voice, or even, you know, a kind of scholarly female voice.
A gel made mostly of water.
This guy, he's got a bit of a
skeleton is made up of a network of adjustable strands.
He's got a bit of a London or, you know, Essex accent, which isn't quite, you know, inspire me the way I would have liked it, but then I'm being snobbish, aren't I? So what's he talking about here? Microfilament. So suddenly increase the detail that he's going into quite a lot.
Intermediate filaments are made of the protein actin and have a diameter.
I don't get much in the way of vertigo. I don't really feel like I'm in the body, but I imagine if this is the first time you've used the Vive, it would be exciting. But because I've used different experiences, it's not particularly amazing. But you know, as an experience for children, you know, it's free as well. It might be quite good. That looks like a alien moving there. What is that?
A special type of protein called
kinesin
protein has the ability to
looks like it's moving. Can I shoot it? Let's see if I can shoot it.
Onto larger structures and transports them around the cell. Energy is available in the cytoplasm in the form of ATP molecules. ATP binds with kinesin and propels it forward. With each step the kinesin takes, it binds with an ATP molecule and releases an ADP molecule.
Okay.
In real time, kinesin walks up to 100 steps per second.
I'm not sure he's pronouncing kinesin right, but maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Protein is heading straight for the cell's nucleus. Let's tag along for a ride.
Okay. So I'm riding alongside the kinesin as it's going somewhere.
We are now approaching the nucleus, the center of the cell.
So we're entering the nucleus. I quite like this neon purple planetscape. There's this alien kinesin's just carrying me somewhere.
Has its own
I've got these weird alien things coming out of my controllers, which have random configurations. So I'm going into towards the nucleolus, I imagine.
Pores are spread around the surface of the nucleus.
Nuclear pores.
Entry and exit of larger molecules.
Not sure what else there is to do.
Protein filaments are located around the edge.
Okay, these attract.
The transport.
These things which are coming out of my controller attract these filaments somehow. I'm not sure what they're meant to be. I'm a bit worried that for some children this might actually scare them a bit, because that looks like a giant alien mouth, which I'm going inside, rather than a pore in the nucleus. I think they probably want to make it look like you're in outer space, with all this kind of neon, these strange colours which don't really exist, I don't think, in real life. Fluorescent,
here we are inside
purple.
The nucleus, the control center of the cell.
So I'm inside the nucleus here.
The majority of the cell.
Oh, and I can shoot some single strand of DNA. Can I make it into a double strand?
DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is a molecule that carries our genetic code. The DNA contains instructions for protein synthesis.
Shooting DNA everywhere. Not much else to do in this.
In the process of transcription, A segment of
I don't know
DNA
why
is
they've
copied
made it
into
possible to
algae or
push
ribonucleic
around these
acid,
models.
containing a
Well,
single
what
recipe
function
for
does that
protein creation.
have apart from just playing with it? If you're a bored kid, it's like being in biology class at school when you're learning photosynthesis and
Let's
just
exit the nucleus through a nuclear pore.
playing around with the plant. That wasn't the best example I had there, but you get what I mean.
We have exited the nucleus, now approaching
Oh, what
through
is
the cytoplasm. Surrounding the nucleus is the rough endoplasmic
So
reticulum.
I'm in the RER at the moment.
A maze-like structure
I
made
can
of flattened membranes,
shoot ribosomes, I guess.
studded with ribosomes. The RER maintains a vital role in protein synthesis.
They've highlighted the ribosome, but they haven't written down
Ribosomes
what
link
these.
together amino acids, following the
How does that meant to
instructions
be?
received from the RNA.
I quite like juggling it though. Juggling my ribosome.
The protein is then transported in a vesicle made from a portion of the RER's membrane. In the distance, you can see
Maybe
the
what they're
mitochondria.
planning is for kids to play around
Mitochondria
like I
are
am,
free-floating
but through
typically
just
referred
kind of
to as
subconscious
the powerhouse of the
narration to
cell.
learn things. Because you know the guy's speaking quite slowly,
Due to their vital
so
role
perhaps
in ATP generation.
you know the words which are coming in. The goal is to
ATP,
just
or adenosine triphosphate, is
neurolinguistically
the
program
main
a
source
child
of energy
to
within the cell.
be aware of these structures and
Mitochondria take the
learn through
pyruvate
that means,
and
through a kind of
convert it
non-active
into
learning
carbon dioxide and
mechanism.
releasing ATP.
Possibly
in
that
the
looks like a
process.
big Wattses. If you don't know what Wattses
Now
are,
that we have seen
they're
the
a
major components of
puffy
the cell,
crisp, popular
let's
in the
make our
United
way
Kingdom,
inside.
which is a very cheesy flavour. Okay, what's going on now? What are these?
What is that?
What is that? A giant worm is entering the cell.
There's an incoming virus attack headed for the cell.
Well, there's a virus attack. Do I have to defend against these viruses? Oh, they're kind of coming.
Fortunately, a cloud of antibodies is stationed around the
Antibodies.
cell to protect it from viruses.
These antibodies look exactly the same as the viruses. Oh no,
White blood cells consume
viruses are
the
rebounding
virus
off
as they are highlighted
the
by
cell.
the antibody.
So I've got a few antibodies as well. I want to defend against these viruses.
Together, the antibodies
Let's keep
white
shooting
blood
these.
cells form the front line of our immune system.
How do these? I wish there were a function for what I'm doing, apart from just something to press.
Thousands of viruses have made it past the antibodies.
See, he was giving me some hope there that
Defenses.
my cell would
And
defend
some
itself against the virus,
viruses
but
are able to enter the cell
it hasn't quite
using
happened.
counterfeit keys.
Counterfeit keys. Not sure every kid will appreciate what he means by that. What's this?
There are too many viruses. It looks like the cell is not going to survive.
Can I put anything into
Let's head back to the
a core?
observatory.
No, I can't. So I need to go back to the observatory apparently.
That completes our journey through the human body. We
So that's
hope
the end
you
of the journey.
enjoyed the tour.
Well, thank you. So that was okay. I mean, it's a free experience.
Hello, and welcome to the Body VR, an immersive
Let's check
tour
the anatomy
through the
viewer.
human
So this is in the beta stage, but the makers, I presume, are going to release the final version, and Steam says that a version is coming out on March, 1st of March, and it's a big skeleton. Let's see what I can do. So explode. So that's a nice function. You can just grab the elements of a particular thing that you're looking at and just quickly shoot it out, which is quite a good function. Just already instinctively, it doesn't look to have as much detail as the organ and VR app, but then again, that's £20. But at least this has this nice explode function, which I quite like. It's quite, so I mean, it's basic. It's a basic thing. It's not going to be used as a substitute for an anatomy lecture, but nevertheless, I think it's quite good. I imagine this is a bit of a kind of stub, and they'll develop on this a bit because it's not really that much I can do. The model looks pretty, I guess. So there's that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Hello, and welcome
Oh,
to the body.
I wish you wouldn't talk
An immersive
as soon as I go to this main menu,
body.
because I've already been here, of course. But I think this is, a good free app for education for children. It's not going to be an amazing educational tool beyond that, but it's nice that these kind of applications are coming out because, some parents won't want their kids just shooting zombies the whole time. They'll want them to learn a bit about the body and get a bit of inspiration as well. So there's not many apps like that around, and there's certainly not many free ones. And I think this slots nicely into that gap, and hopefully there'll be newer versions and competitors coming out soon. Well, thank you for joining me.